What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Welcome back. We are here for a new season of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Alright, or in the words of Funky Dineva, Potanka. So we starting this. Listen, let me just apologize. I got a whole lot going on over here. Those of y'all who follow me, y'all know, but my light literally just went out. So sorry for everything, but let's just get through it. Alright. Y'all know how usually these premieres go. The first episode is usually just a let's get caught up, let's see what everybody's doing, what's been going on since the last season. But they did give us some drama, okay? Now, listen, we all know about the fight. Everybody knows that Monique and Candace got into this whole situation. And y'all know they're going to play it up for all it's worth, honey. They're going to give it to us. So we start this episode off. They have this real dramatic glass on the floor. They show us a first aid kit. We've got voices going on in the background. And we hear, Monique, no! Okay. Y'all know they're going to play that up until we get to that episode. Who knows? And then they say 7 weeks before. So the fight happened, I guess, 7 weeks after they started filming for this season. So we start off with Monique. I think we started off with Monique. Well, they show they show them at Karen's house talking about the fight. But again, we'll get to that. Monique had, she's had the baby. We have baby Chase. And she also has a bird, T'Challa. I follow her on social media, so I knew about the bird. But she said that the bird, she's always been an animal lover, and the bird was just something she sort of needed just for her peace of mind. Chris don't seem like he's too fond of the bird, but I guess his thing is, girl, do you, child, do you. And you have to potty train a bird. I've never thought of that. But I guess if you don't want poop on your head or poop all over your house, I guess that's what you got to do for a bird. Because it seems like he doesn't stay in his cage all day. So I guess that's a good way of making sure that, there's not poop just all over the place. Cool, go for it. Listen, if Monique like it, I certainly love it, okay? If Monique like it, I love it. Now, so she's going to visit Karen. Again, during the off season, like it's a football team. But Karen has moved back to Potomac, which, again, if you follow these people on social media, I knew that. So let's just... Look, one time for the birthday girl. Let's keep count. There are only 2 members, as of right now, of the Real Housewives of Potomac who actually live in Potomac. We have Karen, who's just moved back, and we have Monique. Nobody else now. I don't know where Dr. Wendy. She's a new member this a new cast member this season. So I don't know where Dr. Wendy lives yet. But as of right now, okay, now, I actually don't even live in Maryland, so, okay, anyway, I digress. She's going to drive down to go visit Karen, and she takes the bird with her. Now, Monique is with this bird like some people are with their dogs. I mean, she's letting the bird touch her lips and all kinds of stuff, and she has the bird perched on her shoulder when Karen opens the door, and Karen is like, girl, what did you bring to my house? Not my brand new. What? She said, "You want me to go put him in his cage?" Karen was like, "Yes, ma'am, yes." She said, "So let me find out. You bought the bird, but you didn't bring the baby." And I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, so you took the bird, but you didn't take the baby. But I understand too. Monique was probably like, "Let me get the hell out of here. Chris got that baby. Let me get up out of here and give me a little 5 minutes of rest." But so. We see a little tour of the house, and it looks really nice. I'm happy for Karen. Listen, you like it, I love it, girl. You like it, I love it. And Monique and Karen sit down, and they have a little talk. And Karen starts opening up to Monique about things not being too kosher in her marriage with Ray. She said Ray is just not... He ain't being as attentive as she needs him to be in that. Now she started with the business with the madame, that he just really is very... standoff. And I said, Karen don't normally open up about what's going on in her life. So for her to share this, it's sort of interesting. She said, now, let me step out of this for a moment. If you want to know what I think, and by the end of this episode, I'm convinced of it. I feel like this is what Karen has decided her storyline is going to be this season. And she is comfortable using her marriage as a storyline because exactly what Monique just said. Karen has been very protective of her marriage. Now, I know her and Monique are cool, so I let the first one slide. But wait till we get to the end of this episode. And I was like, girl. Anyway, then we see Giselle. Giselle is moving into her fixer-upper, but her words, not mine. She said that it is a construction zone, but they got it going. They have it going on, honey. They got this, they got that, and she's working on a listen. Latoya from Married to Madison. Latoya from Married to Madison. You was pressed over that 2-story closet. Giselle is building a 2-story master suite, bitch. Check. Mate. Okay. But anyway, the house looks like it's coming along really nicely, and Giselle confirms that her and Jamal are back together. She calls Jamal because it's the first day of school, and Jamal wanted to talk to the kids about the first day of school. Now let me tell you something about. Now listen, one thing we know is that Karen's daughters have inherited her mouth. They say what they mean what they say, and they don't hold their tongue. And let me be clear, her kids are unimpressed with their father. They are unimpressed with him. They are unimpressed with him getting back with their mama. They are unimpressed with the whole situation, and they let Karen know that they are unimpressed. Child, you could hear a pin drop when he was on that damn phone call. They didn't have nothing to say to him. And so when they got off the phone, she was like, why y'all not, what was up with that? Like, why y'all not talking to y'all dad? And they were like, listen, because he fake and phony, and we know it, and we don't have no time for it, and we not entertaining it. They said the only time that he worries about us is when he trying to impress you. He calls us and then gets off the phone with us and calls you. Like, it is all a fake, it is all a front, and I don't have nothing, and we are not here for it. We don't understand why you back with him. Like, and they even came right out and said it. They were like, well, after the way he treated you the last time, like, why are we doing this again? Why we doing this again? I find that very interesting, because what that says to me is a couple of things. One, they grew up hearing stories about their dad that weren't necessarily flattering in reference to his relationship and how he dated and how he treated you in the marriage. Two, they probably heard it from you. You weren't always in this place. He wasn't always. I mean, the first season of the show, you talked about how much he was a cheater. Three, they can Google. They're old enough to use that Google machine. Okay? And they don't want their mama with him. It's like, yeah, he our daddy, and we got to deal with that. Okay? But we not cool. No. Anyway, so they were not impressed. And Karen finally hit them with the, parents have a catch-all. When you making too much sense and they don't really have an explanation or anything to say, you know what parents always say? Well, I'm the parent and you the child, and it is what it is. They were like, all right, whatever. But we said what we said. Then we have Candace. Candace and Chris are celebrating their 1-year anniversary, and they are having an anniversary party. Let's be clear. They're rolling up on 2 years now, because they got married at the end of the summer, early fall. I want to say they got married like August, September-ish. So we're rolling up on their 2-year anniversary, but whatever, child, whatever. And so they're planning the anniversary party. They still looking for a house, that because we knew that they wasn't buying that $5 million house from last season. Girl, stop. Like, even with your mama money, you wasn't buying that $5 million house. But whatever, child. And her mama's not paying for this anniversary party. So, they on a budget. They went to this place, La Vie, which I've been there before. It's a very nice establishment. Anyway, they want to have this rooftop party. The lady said, hold on. The lady said, what's your budget? Candace said, we're in the 5 range. Talking about 5,000, right? She said, oh, well, our open bar package just started at 22,000. She said, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all talk. I'm going to go downstairs while y'all figure this out. Now, of course, you can do the cash bar option, which is a lot cheaper. But when you're talking about an open bar, child, Chris said, yeah, I'm not paying $22,000 for no party. Yeah, we're not doing that. He was like, especially since we don't have your mama helping. We're not doing that. And she was like, I know. But they ended up having the party there, but it was a cash bar. Then we have Ashley with the baby. You know, of course, she's had baby Dean, who looked just like his damn daddy. Oh my gosh, he looked just like his damn daddy. Ashley, I don't think Ashley's going through postpartum per se, but Ashley is going through that thing that I've seen a lot of mothers go through. It's like everything in the world bothers them now. They don't want to watch the news. They're worried about pollution. They're worried about global warming. They're worried about the extinction of the blah, 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 blah. Like everything. Everything is a worry for them, and everything is a concern for them. And so we see her kind of processing through that, and her and Michael, going through what they're going through, child. Well, excuse me, we're going to get to this drama later on in the episode, child. Then we catch up with Robin and Juan, child. Robin wanted to marry her. Juan was like, let's buy a house. Now I will, listen, I'm going to give Robin some credit. Robin said, okay, listen. Now I done went through this bankruptcy with you. I done went through this foreclosure with you. I done went through moving into this first back to this first little townhouse. I done worked with you moving to the new townhouse. I mean, a bigger townhouse down the street. But what we not about to do before we get married is buy a house together. I'm not putting my name on another sheet of mortgage with you if I don't have your last name again. That's what I'm not going to do. Juan was like, oh. He said, well, listen, I feel like I have come a long way in 3 years. And I want to get married. I just don't know when. How? Where? I'm just saying. But he did say he wanted to get married, and they had a moment, and it was great. And her face lit up when he said he wanted to get married. She was shocked as hell. I guess she was thinking, I don't know what he gonna say, but I don't know. But I give you credit, Robin, for saying, listen, either you gonna listen. We're not playing this game no more. Then we have a scene where we see Candace and Giselle go out. They're doing the dessert thing. She's filing the desserts for her anniversary party, and she invites Giselle because she said, listen, if there's anybody that loves desserts as much as I love desserts, and she loves desserts. Okay. Giselle rolls up in a Gucci inspired Mini Cooper. I guess that's called it's not a Mini. Is that a Mini Cooper? It's a something. It's a Mini Cooper, I guess, but it's a Gucci inspired Mini Cooper, child. It ain't her Mini Cooper. Child, it's Jamal Bryant's. He done left it at her house. And so she said, well, he ain't here. I'm driving it. Because my car broke down this morning. I said, well, I'm not mad about it. But I am mad that Jamal Bryant had a Gucci Mini Cooper. Who does that? Anyway, I'm not. So, while we're having lunch, let me say this. If I don't give Giselle credit for nothing else this season, I'm going to give Giselle credit for what she said at this moment when they were having lunch together. Now, come to find out, Candace threw some comments, threw some daggers at, because, Giselle and Robin was doing a Watch What Happens Live, and they threw a little bit of shade at Candace looking at that $5 million house, knowing good and damn well she wasn't buying no $5 million house. So, y'all know what Candace did with her immature ass. She went straight to Twitter and went straight for the jugular and started talking about Giselle rubbing her pennies together in that rat trap, of her, $900,000 fixer-upper or whatever. Giselle says something that is so accurate and valid, and this is what I said last season, and some of y'all didn't like what I had to say, because, all these shows, everybody has their favorites. So all the girls who, or guys who love Candace didn't like what I had to say or didn't agree with what I had to say. But here's the thing, my problem with Candace. Candace is an immature brat. And the minute you say something that she does not like, the first thing she wants to do is go to Twitter and go for the jugular. And she goes straight for that jugular, and she says the harshest, nastiest, most crass, lowball shit that she can say to you. And what she never does is apologize. She never says, you know what, I was in my feelings. I was having a moment, and I was wrong. I came a little left, and I apologize. And so in that moment, her and Karen started snapping back and forth at each other, right? They started snapping back and forth at each other. And Karen was like, so you Like, you just gonna say what you say and you just feel the way you feel. And she was like, well, I mean, you was kikiing about me. And she was like, girl, that's what your mama said. Like, because what they said was they ran into her mother and asked her mother about the house. And her mother was like, yeah, not even with my money are they buying that house. Right? You know what I'm saying? So they were kikiing about it. But she was like, but girl, your mama said that. Like, I didn't say it. Your mama said it. Like, it was a kiki, but your mama started the key and the keying. Child. So, and so they started sniping back and forth at each other. And so I don't know if that dessert situation ended well, okay? Because Candace is Candace and Giselle is Giselle. They did have a moment because the first thing out of Candace's mouth was asking her about Jamal Bryant, and they had this whole thing where they asked all the different ladies. And let me tell you something. Karen Huger said exactly what I was thinking. She said, I have no comment. You won't get me saying, nope. You won't get me saying nothing about it. No, ma'am, Pam. Not me. Nope. Got nothing to say. Nothing. So then we have Monique and Ashley meet up, and they just kind of they're commiserating on being new mothers. Well, Ashley's a new mother, Monique's a new mother again, but they have kids in the same age range. Monique is already potty training her child. You know, I know people are gonna probably have an opinion about it, but remember when Candy was doing the same thing on Real Housewives of Atlanta? There are some people who just ascribe to that mindset that, you know, kids should be potty trained at an earlier age. I don't know what the benefit is one way or the other than you not buying Pampers. Like, I don't know. But, you know, child, I ain't had nobody's kids. So, look, if that's what you do and you like it, I love it, child. It is what it is. But Chase sure did sit his butt on that potty and went. So, hey. Okay. And I know Monique is actually writing a book about potty training. So, I don't know if that's out yet. But she's going to write a book about her experience and why she... I guess what the mindset is, what she's doing and why she's doing it. They did talk about Candace, and Monique said that her and Candace had, you know, after the reunion, they had a chance to sit down and sort of touch base and go over and say what need to be said and apologize what need to be apologized. And of course, I know how they do. They flash back to the dinner. I mean, to the meeting up and her apologizing and all that good stuff. So you kind of think Monique and Candace are in a better place. But she didn't invite Ashley to her anniversary party, and so Monique was like, well, I'm surprised. I really thought that, you know, you and Candace would have talked by now and, you know, sort of cleared the air. And Ashley was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't even need it. Like, she ain't cool with me. She don't want to be cool with me. It is what it is. Like, I don't need it. I'm over it. It is, you know, I ain't tripping. What is it? Somebody was gonna say. But she said that she also has not reached out to her. She said she also has not reached out to her since the party, since the reunion. I mean, no. Since she had the baby. She said she ain't got a text, phone call, email, fucking edible arrangements, nothing. And she was like, and it is what it is. Like, I don't even, you know, if you're going to be fake and phony about it, I don't even need to be fake. I don't need it in my life. I don't need the fake or the phony. Now, the theme of, so let's get to we have the nitty and the gritty. The theme of the anniversary party is diamonds and denim. It's diamonds and denim. And, everybody's trickling in. You know, I think Karen was the first housewife to get there, and you know, and she was, you know, her and Candace, you know, they have a good relationship, so it was all smiles and cool. We met Dr. Wendy. This is the first time we meet Dr. Wendy. Now, the Grand Dame said that she has been on board with Dr. Wendy, and she knows Dr. Wendy. They've been at events together. She said she is not impressed. Now, she did not elaborate, honey, but she told us that she is not impressed with Dr. Wendy. So we're going to see what that means and how that is connected, child. We also see a flash from the past. Miss Sharice is there. Now, Robin shows up with Vaughn, and her and Sharice have a moment. They hug, and they cool. Because remember, they go back to the Wizards days when her husband, when Sharice's ex-husband was the coach of the Wizards and Vaughn played for the Wizards. So, you know, they go back, you know, wives of the team kind of situation. And Robin want to start talking about something. Well, I mean, I didn't know she knew Candace. She talking about something. Was she even at the wedding? Robert, you was barely at the wedding. Remember how you was walking in when they were walking out? Girl, you weren't at the wedding either. You was at the reception. But you weren't at the wedding? You don't know I was late as hell. Anyway. Monique has beef with Sharice that I forgot about. I know that they used to be real cool and they fell out. And she said that Sharice has been spreading lies about her and her family all through the Potomac streets. And so she ain't had no words for her, honey. She walked off, ain't even speak. She's like, I'm not entertaining it. Like, I can't even play that game. I'm not here for it. And I'm not going to play that game with them. Karen, Giselle shows up in a bodysuit that's got, you know, the little, not real diamonds, but you know, the little things is bedazzled. And Candace is really going to have something to say and kind of call her out about, well, I don't see no denim. Girl, if you don't go sit your denim and diamond ass down somewhere. So they immediately go out on the terrace and because Candace felt like the dessert situation tasting kind of went a little left, and she just wants to make sure that her and Giselle are cool. And Giselle was like, but here's the thing, Candace. And she said exactly, she said, listen, you get on Twitter and then you go straight for the jugular and you take no ownership. At no point in time do you ever apologize for anything you have done or said. And, you know, that's the problem. Like, we all have our moments, we all go off, but you never feel like you've done anything wrong or that you feel like you need to apologize. She was like, so you kind of came for me. You went straight for the jugular and you have no remorse for it. So I'm not sure where we go from there. And Candace is still defending herself. Well, you were kikiing and you were laughing about my house and you were kiki. So that didn't go nowhere, child. And as this was going on, Monique comes out and Karen's out there. And so they sort of change the subject a little bit. But then it becomes all about, you know, Jamal. And I'm kind of with Giselle, like, why are y'all, like, jumping down my throat about Jamal? Like, what's that about? Like, okay, so I got back with my cheating ass ex-husband who live in Atlanta and already, you know, rumors are concubines. But why is that the subject of this conversation? Like, I don't see nobody else's husband here except for Juan. And Juan ain't even really her husband. But they might as well be, child. But I'm not understanding. Why are we talking about Jamal? And then Candace gonna say, well, I invited Jamal. I wanted him to come and bless the group. And you said no. She was like, girl, he live in Atlanta. If he was here this weekend, I would have brought him. But he lived in Atlanta. He don't live here. He is in charge of a whole mega church and his 4 concubines down in Atlanta. He don't have time to keep running up here. Okay? Anyway. Then we had time for the toast. She gonna call up, out of all them people in the room, the 2 people she called up was Karen and her mama. She said her and her mama are sort of in a holding pattern. They not enemies, but they not friends. They trying to figure out a way to get back to the middle, right? So Karen comes up there, and instead of Karen talking about, you know, me and my husband have been married for XYZ amount of years, and yes, marriage is ups and downs, but you made it through that first hurdle. It's been a year. It is to be celebrated. I'm so thankful that I'm here for this journey, and you know, I am always here as your big sister to give you whatever you need. That's what Karen could have said. But what Karen said instead was, you know, me and Ray are having problems, girl. And marriage ain't always easy. And right now he is choosing to not be the husband I need him to be. But we'll work it out. And thank you. I said, what? And that's why I said this is going to be Karen's storyline. Because since when does Karen Huger do all of that and tell y'all all her business like that? And why would you make that whole speech about you and your husband? And it's about them and their first year anniversary. Then they get a mic to her drunk ass mammy. And her mammy starts talking about, I'm so glad you decided to make love to Candace. What? What? Make love to Candace? Do you mean love Candace? Then she started talking about something. Well, I've been married for 35 years. I mean, to 2 different husbands. But if you add the years together, what? I said, what in the hell? What kind of toast are these for the people at the 1 year? Child. I don't know what to tell y'all. Anyway, I think that's what it is, y'all. I think we got it. I think that is the first episode. But they gave us some drama. They didn't give us, a lot of times the first episodes are boring. This was not boring. I will say that. We got a lot of this and a little bit of that. And I see what some storylines are going. Y'all know they going to hype up this fight, child. But anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.